when people ask me like, Rolla, what is like, give me an example of like genuine desire. That's genuine desire. I want his babies, not, oh, my biological clock is ticking, I need to have kids soon. This guy'll do. You know, that's not why I'm talking. You know, it's not, I want babies. I want his babies.
I must be pretty weak-willed because all it took was falling in love with a man, and now I'm like, not really. I mean, I'm a feminist, but like kind of. I don't really need my maiden name. I don't really need it. I like your last name better anyway. Like, I'll just take that. I know he can do his own laundry. I know that he can clean the house, but I want to do it for him. I want to cook all his meals. I want to make sure he's getting all his whole grains, all his vegetables. I want to make sure he's getting all that protein.
All his
he hasn't
macros
asked
are on
any of
point.
this of me. It just kind of naturally kicks in. Like, these instincts just kind of come out of like, oh, now I have to take care of you when you're sick. Oops, I made you breakfast and it fits all of your dietary requirements. My bad. I think I got possessed by a housewife. Is that what happens?
I guess feminism has its limits.
Jeez.
Yes, has this ever happened to you where you had a mentality and then all of a sudden it changed when you met the right man?
Yeah, for sure. If he's providing like those types of things, then I just like want to do other things. Like I want to provide for him because he's providing for me, you know? I wouldn't want to just sit there like a lump on a log while he's like doing everything for me. And it's like, I don't know, I'd almost feel bad just like sitting around because he's playing a part, I'm playing a part. And if they mesh perfectly, then yeah, I'm good to do all of it.
I mean, okay, so I have like kind of like two viewpoints. Okay, so I'm not really into cooking, but like so I'll cook sometimes. But I don't mind cleaning and doing laundry. However, I do kind of feel like, I don't know, I like to be worshipped. So that's kind of different for me. Yeah, I would kind of like that. So yeah, maybe I'm a little different. Yeah.
So it goes. So if you want to be worshipped, does that like mean like if he does that, then is it like reciprocal?
Well, yeah, no, I totally will do that too. Like if you're like,
What if he wants to be worshipped?
Yeah, no, I'm all about it too. I'm all about that.
I want to ask you this: have you ever dated a guy?
Yeah, I did.
You did?
Uh-huh.
And there was never a point where he made you change your behavior, or they were just icky and gross. I think they're icky and gross.
Well,
I think all men are trash.
Like,
he made you change to become a lesbian.
Yes.
That's awesome. There we go. Shout out to that guy.
Yes.
Shout out to that guy.
Okay, so you're saying is you at one point found men attractive. Did you ever meet a man that you wanted to change your behavior for, become a housewife, anything like that? No.
I'm not gonna be a housewife.
Yeah, and then you just realized you just like women better.
Maybe for some time, I like taking care of the people who I love.
Yeah.
Of course, but I will not be a housewife.
Okay. Nice.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah.
Like, so because this is the first time you've said that you actually like were with a guy at one point. Like you've been on the show like probably 2 or 3 times now. Was the guy that you were with, was he like more masculine or was he more like kind of like effeminate? Was he like thinner and like more
masculine. Like
he was more masculine, really?
Yeah.
What did he do to make you
What did I
start
do?
batting left-handed? Like what happened?
That's great. It was a lot. It was.
Was it a bad shit that he did?
I don't really want to.
Okay, then no, we don't have to
don't
talk
worry
about it.
about
Go
it,
ahead. Well, actually, San Marino, what do you think? Has a guy ever digmatized you and you were like, yes, let me go cook some shit? Yes. Yeah. There we go. All right. There we go. That's what it looks like. Incredible. Yeah. Awesome. Can we do the meeting a guy Miami one?
I want to point one more thing out here, especially to just sort of tag this onto the end of this video is I like to use this as kind of like an example of like there's the guy that like women will say that they, you know, this is who I want to be with, and then there's the guy that is the guy who is she's going to be the ride or die girl for. So when I have talked to women in the past who are like very, you know, dyed in the wool feminists and they're like, you know, it's got to be 50-50 and everything else, and they meet a guy that brings the woman and brings the feminine out in her, that's when suddenly like they're like, I don't understand, why am I really like this, why do I want to do this? So I always use this example. There's Ryan Gosling and Eva Mendes. Okay, so Eva Mendes was very anti having children. She didn't want to have any kids. She was, you know, pushing 40 at the time. Like she was like late 30s, right? She meets Ryan Gosling. Her whole life she's like, I don't want kids. I know I don't want kids. meets Ryan Gosling, marries Ryan Gosling, and she says, I want his fucking kid. I want his babies.
Yeah.
That's what she, and so she goes from this like very, sort of like a strong, empowered, narrative feminist woman to I want his babies.
Right.
And that was the end of it. And like, she is like right or die. I mean, it's Ryan Gosling, let's be honest. But like, that's her guy. And that right there is like, when people ask me like, Rolo, what is, like, give me an example of like genuine desire. That's genuine desire. I want his babies. Not, oh, my biological clock is ticking. I need to have kids soon. This guy'll do. That's not what I'm talking. It's not. I want babies. I want his babies. And there's a difference between, like, a difference in desire between us.
Why do you think that happens? What specifically triggers a female's instincts like that?
I think it's the guy has to be sort of first of all, has to be the right fit for that girl. But also he's got to be conventionally masculine to bring out that conventionally feminine. I think a lot of women, we're going to get to some more videos here that's going to like sort of back this up. That's why I'm kind of giving you a preface here. But there are women who will go and they'll be very highly masculinized, and they'll say, I done everything everybody told me to do. I got my job. I got my money on point. I've got my education, everything else. And they essentially turn themselves into the men that they want to marry, right? Well, the problem is they can't find a guy who is that much more above them where they would be as far as like being that guy. But when they do find that guy, like against all odds, and they find that guy, that's when Eva Mendes says, Ryan Gosling, I want your babies. That's when there's a clip. I want your kids, right? And so that natural innate. I think we have surveyed like so many girls on this show where I've said, is there any situation where you would not think it would be 50-50 or would be some reciprocal thing where a guy could sort of bring that out in you? Because one of the things that I always talk about with women is when they're telling me, I got all this stuff together, Rolo, I got my job on point, I got my money on point, I got education on point, I did everything everybody told me. Where's my man? Where are all the good guys? And this is going to lead up to a video that we have here. Where are all the good men? And I always say, well, they're back in your 20s where you left them, generally. But the thing is like, you're not going to find that guy now because you've become that guy. And you will have to find some way to get in touch with your inner feminine, get back in touch with your femininity. And the problem is when I say that, it sounds like I'm saying dumb yourself down. Like, I did all this work, I did all this education, I got my money together, I'm living like a guy, like a successful alpha male, and you're telling me I need to start acting like some like naive little kind of like housefrau, and I'm going to be naked and barefoot in the all my teachers throughout my college education told me that's the enemy, that's not what I should be doing. And you're telling me that I should do that. I'm saying, well, you have to get in touch with your inner feminine. And the problem is there's not enough guys that can bring that out in those women in the first place because they've built lives around emphasizing their masculine. So.
If you're watching this, I have a gift for you. Click the link below and I will send you a private invite to my community. And yes, it's absolutely free.